Welcome back to my channel. Today the video is on how to reconcile turnover as per financial statements and as per GSTR 9, that is annual return, for filing GSTR 9Z, that is the reconciliation statement attached to the audit report. The basic idea of the reconciliation is similar to preparation of BRS, that is the bank reconciliation statement. We will start with the turnover as per audited P&L account and add items not included in turnover as per the financial statements, and in case of items which are included in the financial statements but not in GSTR 9, we will be subtracting to arrive at the turnover as per the GSTR 9, that is the annual return. We will go in detail each line item with the examples. This is the Excel format of the GSTR 9C. It has 5 parts, and part 2 is the reconciliation of turnover as per financial statement and the turnover declared in the annual return, that is the GSTR 9. We will see each line item in detail. 5A is the turnover including export as per the audited financial statement. 5B, 5C, 5H and 5I, that is the unbilled and unadjusted revenue at the beginning and at the end of the financial year, which I will explain in detail using an example. Unbilled revenue is basically income accrued but not due. That is, income accounted in books of account but invoice not raised as payment is not due. For example, we can take rent payable on half-yearly basis in June and December. As on 31st March, that is the financial year end, we will recognize income from January to March as unbilled revenue, that is the income accrued but not due, and invoice will not be raised till March as the invoice is due only in June. For this period of January to June, invoice will be raised in June, but income for January up to March will be recognized. So this is basically the income accrued but not due. In this example, the opening balance of income accrued but not due is rupees 1,90,000. Invoices issued during the financial year is 40,000. And income recognized during the current year is 95,500 plus 65,000. So the closing balance, which will be the opening balance plus current year invoice accrued, income accrued minus invoice issued, will be 3,10,500. So here if we see, there is a difference between the income and the invoice value. For invoices is issued for rupees 40,000, whereas income is recognized for 1,60,500, that is 95,500 plus 65,000. So basically it is this difference between the value of the invoice issued and the income recognized is reconciled in the GSTR 9C. Now we will come to the invoice issued but income not recognized, that is the unadjusted advance. In this case also we will take an example of rent which is payable in advance. For example, 1 year rent is payable in January, for the period January to December. We will be raising the invoice for January to December in the month of January, but income will be recognized only up to March, as on 31st March. This is basically the invoice issued but income not recognized. In this example, rupees 1,25,500 is the invoice issued in the previous year but income not recognized, that is the unadjusted advance. Invoice is issued for 65,500 rupees, but current year income is recognized only for rupees 10,000. So the closing balance is 1,81,000, which is the opening balance plus invoices issued minus current year income recognized. And invoice issued and income recognized in financial year 2021, for which invoice is issued and income is recognized in the same year, is 14,75,550. So if we add invoice issued during the current year, total comes to 15,81,050, whereas the income as per the P&L, it will come to 16,46,050. So there is a difference. So we have to reconcile the turnover as per the books of account, that is 16,46,050 and 15,81,050 in the GSTR 9C. So now we will go back to GSTR 9C and we'll see how we will fill the details in GSTR 9C. We will start with the column 5A, which is the turnover as per the audited financial statement. In our example, income recognized in the P&L account is 16,46,050, which we will key in column 5A. Next is column 5B, which is unbilled revenue at the beginning of the financial year, which is rupees 1,90,000. Next, we will have to add unadjusted advance at the end of the financial year. It is not the beginning, it is at the end of the financial year. What is the unadjusted advance? That is invoice issued but income not recognized. The closing balance of the same has to be added here, which is rupees 1,81,000 in our example. Next is H column, which is unbilled revenue at the end of the financial year, which is rupees 3,10,500, which we have to subtract from the turnover. Next is the unadjusted advance at the beginning of the year, which is rupees 1,25,500, which has to be subtracted. So here it will come to the annual turnover after adjustment will come to 15,81,050, which is our total invoice issued as per the GSTR 9. So the unreconciled turnover is 0. So this is how unbilled revenue and unadjusted advances has to be incorporated in the GSTR 9C. So you have to go to your balance sheet and see the opening and closing balance of the income accrued but not due and advanced invoice raised, and key in the opening and closing balance here to reconcile. Column 5D, deemed supply under Schedule 1. You may refer Schedule 1 of the Act to see the transaction considered as deemed supply. I am not going in detail about the transactions covered in Schedule 1. Value of deemed supply shall be declared in this column. Any deemed supply which is already part of audited annual turnover is not required to be included here. Column 5E. Credit note issued after end of financial year, that is 31st March, reflected in annual return. Such credit notes which is not accounted in financial statement for arriving at turnover but has been shown in GSTR 9 shall be added here. So you may think how credit note issued after 31st March will come in annual return. If you see GSTR 9 Part 5, particulars of the transaction for the financial year declared in the next financial year from April to September, which is a specified period, we have to declare debit note or credit note for the current financial year issued after the end of current financial year and before September of the next financial year. This amount has been subtracted as the credit note value will not be accounted in arriving at the turnover but will be shown in GSTR 9. Column 5F. Trade discount accounted for in the audited financial statement but are not permissible under GST. Trade discounts are accounted in the audited financial statement by deducting from the sales figure. Under GST, as per section 15.3, discounts can be reduced from value of supply only if case 1, only if discount is given before or at the time of supply. Case 2, after the supply only if it is agreed at the time of supply and can be linked to the invoice. So any trade discount which is not allowable under GST as per section 15.3 accounted in financial statement has to be added here. Next column 5G, turnover from April 2017 to June 2017. That is the period before GST Act implementation. The column is relevant for the annual return, GSTR 9C of the financial year 17-18 only. The turnover for the period April to June 2017 has to be reduced to arrive at the GSTR 9 turnover. Column 5H and 5I has been already discussed. Next comes to column 5J. Credit notes accounted for in the audited financial statement but are not permissible under GST. This is the case opposite to column 5E. In 5E, credit note was not accounted in financial statement but was shown in GSTR 9. In this case, credit note is accounted in the financial statement but is not permissible under GST Act section 34(2) and hence not shown in GSTR 9 has been added. Column 5K. Adjustment on account of supply of goods by cess units to DTA units. Supply from cess units to DTA units is considered as an export and is exempt in the hands of cess unit. Hence, the value of supply will be included in the turnover as per financial statement but will not be covered in GSTR 9. So, you have to deduct the value when preparing GSTR 9C of cess unit. Column 5L. Turnover for the period under composition scheme. If the GST and avail composition levy of GST for any time during financial year, it has to be declared in column 5L. Column 5M. Adjustment in turnover under section 15 and rules thereunder. Section 15 relates to valuation of supply. In case of change in value of supply as per GST and sale accounted in books of account due to difference in the valuation rules, as per section 15, it has to be declared here by addition or subtraction as the case may be. Column 5N. Adjustment in turnover due to foreign exchange fluctuation. Where the GST supply value is different from the accounting turnover, when the transaction is in foreign currency and due to foreign exchange gain or loss, adjustment for the same has to be made in the column. For example, if goods are exported to a foreign country, such transaction will be accounted in the books based on RBI declared exchange rate, but in GST, exchange rate to be taken is rate declared by CBSE. So this difference in conversion rate will lead to difference in turnover as per financial statement and GSTR 9. This has to be adjusted by addition or subtraction as the case may be in column 5N. Column 5O. Adjustment in turnover due to reasons not listed above has to be declared here. For example, the sale of capital goods which do not affect turnover because the same will be reduced from the WDV of the asset and profit or loss only will be recognized in P&L account, whereas value of supply will be declared in GSTR 9. Another case can be a supply which is accounted in the books as credit to an expense account or credit in a balance sheet account, GL account, which has to be adjusted here. So such an adjustment has to be added or subtracted as the case may be depending upon the nature of the transaction. Next is column 5P, which will be auto calculated based on the values entered from column A to O. Column Q, turnover as per GSTR 9 will be picked from the GSTR 9 already filed. The unreconciled turnover, which is the difference between column P and Q, will be automatically reflected here. The reasons for this unreconciled turnover has to be declared by the assessee here. There are columns here given and you have to give the reason for such unreconciled turnover. So this will give us the reconciliation of the total turnover between the financial statements and the annual return. Next comes the reconciliation of the taxable turnover. From the turnover arrived in the column Q or column P, we have to deduct the items or supplies which are not taxable. Like in column 5B, we have to give value of exempted, null rated, non-GST supply or no supply. Column 5 is zero rated supply without payment of tax. Column D, supply on which tax is to be paid by the recipient on reverse charge. That is, the tax has to be paid by the recipient of the service and not the supplier. And column 5 will be calculated based on this. Column F will be pop up from the annual return GSTR 9, and this will come to the unreconciled taxable turnover. So in column 5P it was the total turnover, and in column 5F it is the taxable turnover. So difference in this unreconciled taxable turnover has been given in the columns here. The reasons for the same has to be listed out here. Hope you understood how to reconcile turnover as per the financial statement as per the GSTR 9. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe my channel for new upcoming videos. In case of any clarification, you can give the comments below and I will try to reply. Thank you.